Plaintiff Joe Revelis says after he started dating the defendant, he discovered she was dating another man who was married. Joe is devastated that they're no longer together because he is still in love with the defendant, but he's suing her for the balance due on windows plus interest. Defendant Marie Lopez says while dating Joe, he was very abusive. Marie claims Joe once pushed her down, kicked her, and spit in her face, and she's countersuing him for half the cost of a mortgage.
Start with you.
Okay, Your Honor. First of all, I just want to say that it's been very hard for me to be here today because of this situation, because she knows that I still am very much in love with her today and over the situation here.
When did you all start?
We started back, I met her back in around July 2007. I started dating her from work. Within that month, I had found out that she was actually going out or with another married man from work, and that hurt me very much.
Why are you hurt? You just met her.
I was devastated by the whole thing.
You just met her.
Within that month, we were seeing each other. I did not know she was actually seeing another person who was married from work. I broke it off with her to see her within those few days after I found out.
Had she told you you all were in an exclusive, committed relationship within that first month? She told you that?
Yes, we were actually living in the same house together.
In 1 month?
In that month, we were living together, going back and forth to work together.
Starting when did you live together? 1 week after dating, 2 weeks?
Within those few weeks, within that first week, second week.
You moved in with each other?
She moved in with me, yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess you would be devastated. You took that type of risk. You took that type of risk and moved this woman in without even knowing her. Yeah, well, you had it right. Forgive me for saying that.
Right.
All right.
She was coming over.
She didn't steal nothing, did she? Okay, go ahead.
My heart.
Just your heart. But you all remained together, obviously, for a long time.
Yes. During that period of time when I wanted to break it off with her, I told her we weren't going to see each other. Within a few days, she came back to me after work to my house in the pouring rain, crying, banging on my door, asking to want to come back to me. I didn't want to do it reluctantly at first at that time because of what she was doing. It made me question her conduct at that point. But because she told me that the guy was not going to leave his wife to be with her, slowly, because I fell in love with her at that point, I took her back. And she came back and we were starting to live together again. It went on like that for several years.
All right, so how did things go after that?
After that, everything went great.
For how long?
From 2007 till about October, actually around June of 2016.
Yeah, I guess you would be in love with her if you know.
I've been in love with her since the very beginning, and I'm still in love with her today.
You better go back to this man. You know, folks love each other. Married couples or couples that partner with each other who are in love. They love each other perhaps 30 years later, 20 years later, but in love is that kind of starry-eyed, I can't do without seeing you, and I can't do without 30 years, you don't want to see him that often. You're like, you got anywhere to go today? You still love them. But you want to know if they got somewhere to go. So here you got a man that's in love. He doesn't want you to get out of his sight, do you?
That's correct.
Wow.
And we were not out of each other's sight. You better go on back home. Go ahead. And we were not out of each other's sight. We were always together doing everything together. In October of 2016,
okay,
when we were looking to purchase a house together, we came to a disagreement in buying the house. I was looking for a brand new one, and we were looking at a used one. When that broke apart, she didn't like it or was upset about it and decided to go ahead and purchase a home on her own. So she went ahead and purchased that home.
So you all broke up over a house?
We kind of broke up, yes.
This everlasting relationship, deeply in love, never out of each other's sight. until it was time to buy a house. Then
Right.
you all break up.
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Let me hear from you, ma'am.
Your Honor, there's a bit of information that he's not telling you. The fact that, yes, I did come back to him and it was raining, and that's the pivotal point of our relationship when it really started. Before that, we were not really in a committed relationship, like he led you to believe. That's when our relationship started at that point. And yes, we were together on again, off again for about 10 years. And
He didn't say that. That's the problem. You all have a different interpretation of
Yes.
this relationship. Go
Right.
ahead.
So basically, for 10 years, it was on again, off again. He would kick me out. I would leave. I had a house in another city that I was
Sir,
renting.
is this true?
She was renting a house with
Did you ever kick her out?
kick her out.
Yes.
When we had a disagreement,
kick her out.
I didn't kick her out. I told her in arguments that we did have, if you're not happy here, maybe you should go back to the other house. That's
Same
not
thing
kicking her out.
inviting her out the door.
Well,
If you don't like it, get out. Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead.
So during
you all had problems on and off for 10 years.
Yes, and it wasn't like one or two occasions. It was multiple occasions where he would throw me out of the house. And he was very abusive.
Like what?
He would, one time he ripped the chain off of my neck. Another time when we were in the other house while he was over visiting, he got so drunk that he pushed me down and he kicked me. And he grabbed my arm and made a bruise on my arm.
that's a complete lie.
He spit in my face. He would make me sleep at the foot of the bed like a dog.
That's not true.
That is true.
I
and you
believe
know it.
everything she just said after you misled me about the nature of this relationship. We loved, we never left each other's sight, and then you got to explain why you told her to get out. Sir, let's get to the window you're suing for.
All right. December, we had decided to get back together again because she told me she was still in love with me. She allowed me to come back in, move into the house. I left the townhouse and moved into the house with her, okay? In May, we started looking for windows because she said she wanted to purchase new windows for the house. We settled on windows and we purchased them. They got installed in July, around the first week of July. We put it on my credit card with the agreement that she was going to make the payments,
All of them?
all of them.
Why? Why would she have to pay all for your windows?
She was paying for all of the windows. They weren't my windows, they were hers. She wanted to do it, so I
it was
agreed
her
to
house
assist her.
it
And it
was in
was her
her
house
name?
exclusively.
Okay.
Okay. So she made the payments, was making them. She had a total of, I believe,
So how long did you intend to stay with her?
for the rest of my life.
Oh.
If I had
But
any-
yet, there are things are only hers. You think that's how marriage goes?
things that are only hers, I don't understand.
Well, you're saying that the windows were all hers, and that's why she was to pay for it all. That's not the way lifetime relationships go, sir.
That's not
it's
the-
called half.
Right.
You'll learn that when you get married and you try to put that woman out.
So, Your Honor,
Go ahead. You're
okay,
confused.
Your Honor,
Go
what I'm
ahead.
trying to say is specifically is that when we looked to purchase the windows, I agreed to go ahead and help her get them. We agreed to search for windows and we agreed to find it. We settled on it together. She picked out the windows that she wanted and we purchased them. We purchased them on my credit card.
And she was to pay 100% of it.
Right. She
We
was-
didn't purchase
Well-
nothing. Come on, we purchased it because you put your card out. That's all you did.
Your Honor,
It was
originally,
her windows. Ain't no we. Take we out
originally
of
she
it.
was going to take out a credit card and put it on hers. We agreed to put it on
Got
mine.
it, sir. I understand. You
Okay.
think that she should have paid 100%. How long had you all lived together by that time?
We had lived 10 years together.
10 years you lived together. I see why you thought And it would be reasonable to assume you're going to be with that person forever. And that's why it would be reasonable that you all split the rent, or if you don't have equal monies and one pays more than the other, all of that. You all were living like common law husband and wife.
Correct.
I know it's correct. Thank you.
Correct.
And that's why you should know better than this silliness you come in here with. And the total amount was how much on the window, sir?
The total amount was $5,968.04.
Okay, and she paid how much, if any?
She paid $1,585.
Okay, let me hear from you, ma'am. We're at the
I
windows
purchased
now.
the house because, again, he had kicked me physically out of the bed because I wouldn't turn off the light that he left on. So that's when I purchased the house. It wasn't because we were looking
You
for
didn't
houses
intend to
together.
stay the rest of your life with him.
Right. He physically kicked me to wake me up in the middle of the night to turn off a light that he left on, that he could reach over and turn off, because I was sleeping at the foot of the bed.
Okay, so let's move on to the windows. He said the agreement was when you replaced the windows, the agreement was you were going to pay off the credit card charges. Let's start there.
In the beginning, he said, I'll help you with the windows. That was his words. I'll help you with the windows. Which
Before you purchased? Okay.
I assume he was going to
That's
help
not
me
correct.
pay for the windows half and half.
That's
He
not
was gonna
correct at
live
all.
Okay,
there.
you never told her you'd help?
No, I never
Okay,
told
good
her.
enough.
I
All
never-
you gotta do is say no.
No.
You never told her you'd help with the windows. Got you. Can we get back to
Yes,
her?
yes.
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
He said he never told you he'd help at all. Go ahead. He's gonna put it all on you and live there
And live
for the rest of his life.
right, scot-free.
Rent, I'm sure you all split.
We agreed that he would pay half
Right.
of the mortgage.
That too was never an agreement.
How much did he pay per month? How long did he live there with you paying nothing?
A year.
Is that true?
From April through.
No wonder you love her. I'd be in love with you too, Doc. Oh yeah. Your counterclaim for $5,000 for half the cost of a mortgage, and that's what you're referring to. And you say he agreed to pay half. He said he agreed to pay zero. I'm more inclined to believe you. And any other evidence? Anyone want to present me with evidence that might
Yes.
change my mind?
Yes, I do.
Let's see it.
Okay.
What is it you're showing me?
What I'm going to show you, what we agreed on was that I paid all the
And you
utilities.
have evidence of
and
that.
I have them right here.
Saying that this is our agreement.
Not showing.
That's what I want to hear. Show me that evidence.
I do not have.
I know you don't.
Okay.
Have a good day. Your claim is dismissed. Yours is granted.
I'm assuming she's already in an engagement with somebody else, that she's going to be marrying somebody else, and I'll be living on my own.
I think we both moved on.
Even though I love her very much, and she knows that, and I'll always love you, okay? But you've been a to me, you know, and you've treated me very badly about this whole thing.